Hey everyone, this week's box is Monarch. So we're doing Monarch First Edition, wherever the tag is, right? And my apologies, my hand is not in the best of shape, right? There's a few little abrasions. So if you're not a big fan of that, my apologies, right? I feel kind of bad because obviously it's, well, center of the camera. The other thing, boy, is this week been very, very horrible. Power outage, heat waves, that's a bad combination in itself, but also, I am in a location where there's no internet if there's no power, right? I don't have a landline, I only have mobile, although you need power for a modem anyway. So I guess the fact that I get a few hours with the mobile modem is a bit better. But either way, it's bad, right? 8 hours was not 8 hours. 8-hour power outage is already horrible, right? Scheduled work, and that's the limit, right? So the fact that they're doing the whole 8 hours, you think, well, they wouldn't go further. Nope, it turned into a 10-hour power outage, which was a nightmare, right? And then to top it all off, I have a ulcer right in front of my canine, which, boy, is not fun to talk with. So, yeah, content this week is a little all over the place, right? But trying to at least do this, because one a week. And then if I don't have anything to put out, I don't have anything to put out. All right, Monarch, everything is not at the back, it's in the middle, because we have the tokens. Okay, so minimalism is our first, right? So the problem with, I don't need the res either. My folders are full of playsets, right? I only care about majestics and foils. Yeah, that's the go. So the problem with my canines, I don't have huge canines, but I do have pronounced canines right there forward. So it is just, yeah, atrocious. Basically, I fell asleep with candy. I was eating candy late night, and it's not a bad decision. Right? Something I do often. The falling asleep part is the bad part, right? So I fell asleep, and then obviously all the acidicness, right, just worn away at my gums. Yeah, this is a fun conversation. Anyway, we should probably talk about Flesh and Blood now, shouldn't we? There's our call for. Time Skipper is not bad, right? I think I have a copy. There is little merit to running it in Melody, but there is still some merit. But yeah, no, I feel like if it was 3 action points and maybe like a 4 cost, right? So it's always 2 cards pitch, but then you get 2 action points, would be kind of cool. Again, it's this, well, I guess this is what we're going to talk about then. The power level of equipment outside of legendaries. So Time Skipper, perfect example, right? It could see, great use if it was just that little bit better. And again, I feel like legendaries should be your long-term equipment, so slightly weaker effects, but, more uses, right? Fairendel Spring Tunic, perfect example. 1 resource is good, right? It's not fantastic, but the fact that you get so much use out of it over the length of a game is what really makes it impactful, right? And the easiest way to then have lesser equipment, common, rare, compete with that is to give them super powerful effects that are one-off, right? So if the Time Skipper was a stronger effect, first Majestic, Deep-Rooted Evil, right? Not a great one. But yeah, so if Time Skippers were, again, a little bit more powerful, 3 action points, or even just 2 action points and go again, but then, increase the cost to 4, so it's always pitching 2 cards, I think that'd be a great, viable, competitive option for some other choices. But we don't see that, right? Even the frontline gear from Dusk Till Dawn, that could have had a perfect place if it didn't have Blade Break, right? So the first round, you want to go second, and you have great defensive option. Second round, right, you still have okay defensive option. Then after that, its usefulness scorn would have really excelled in Blitz. Sonata Canix, beautiful card. I don't think there's many cards in Monarch they're worth that much, right? Aside from obviously the real heavy hitters, and mainly because the whole talent idea is really up in the air, right? Oh, that's beautiful though. So we got Phantasmaclasm as our Majestic Rainbow Fall. Very pretty. Halo Illumination and no M. But yeah, so Tails is obviously up in the air. We need Tails back, but then there's also the consideration, well, was the Elemental subtype, was this way of handling talents altogether, the greatest way, or did it create a lot more problems? In terms of Monarch, right, what we got as the, revisit was more an extension and sort of, again, side to it, right? You still want the top end of Monarch, but very much the iterations of the characters, right, are their own thing. So the crossover wasn't really there to the extent people want. So even if we got, a Tails redo, it's not going to help old Tails boxes, right? right? It'll allow us to replay those cards, maybe. But again, probably only affect the top end, and then the rest will just be dragged behind and left to fade away. Spears of Serality, also beautiful. Ooh, yes, that M was shiny, that's why it goes there. I feel like I've missed a few, right? Because I've definitely opened more than 5 packs. Oh well, I'm sure they were just comments. Yeah, I lose track when I'm trying to talk and open. I'm not a great multitasker. Which is another thing, right? There's tons of projects that I'd like to, work on during, like editing or on the side, but I'm awfully slow. Arclight Sentinel, good little defensive option, right? I think that one's a decent card in terms of price. Again, I'm not overly interested. I'm more just here for the enjoyment of collecting and opening, right? So filling out my binders is a big thing. Although in saying that, I don't think I really need cold foils. So this is just for the fun of it, I guess. Have something to do while we have a conversation. I like opening packs and sifting through cards. And you never know, right? Could be like the Eye. You get a glorious Fable and I'm super excited and don't really show it. Bolt of Courage. Also gorgeous. Oh. You see that? Does that show up? Ah, it got snipped. Interesting. Is it slide on the Levian? No, so it's just the Raydan Duskblade. Yeah, look at that. A little crimping at the top. I don't think it's a valid real misprint, right? There was some sort of streak or anything. Because, well, you could just take a card and do this yourself. But still, it's pretty nifty, right? So again, the alignment was just slightly off. The fact that it fell on a Majestic is pretty cool. So, yeah, interesting. Again, not super great. I'm curious, can we find the card that was probably on top of it? Probably not, because they've been mixed up. But if that was too short, then the other one should be too long, right? Where it got cut. So it should have somewhat pointyish edges. It's not super textured. Yeah, I think it's just been crushed. Right, so it's just caught in the packing machine. No, okay, so it's not cutting, that's packing. Right? Think it through. What makes those shapes? It's not a cut. You don't cut with, like weird pasta makers. I don't know. Anyway, Merciful Retribution. And nada. Few packs to go. If there's anything else of interest, right? Any other weird cuttings? No, well, not cuttings, sealings. Which actually I should have. Well, no, we would have seen if there was any other ones in the pack, right? That look like that. So far, not that great of a Monarch box, unfortunately. But what can you do? I mean, Monarch's back to normal prices now, isn't it? Surging Militia. And Spill Blood is a nice one, right? Axes, see if there's anything for heavy hitters, right? A new axe-dominated hero would be cool. Because, you get to push with Dorinthia, and it's pretty cool with Dorinthia. But if there was a hero that's sole-focused on axes, that'd be pretty epic. Blinding Beam, and no M, unfortunately. 7 packs to go, 8 packs to go, something like that. Ooh. A little bit of difficulty. Yinta Yanta. Yinta Yanta? How useful is this? Right? Trying to think of all the heroes that generate auras. Again, there's so many concepts in Flesh and Blood that could all do with, better support, better archetypes, and it feels so thin, right? Everything's been stretched so thin, and yeah. It does not create the best cohesion in terms of cards and what cards get printed. I feel like they definitely could have reined it in a little bit more. I think the whole talent system was a big misstep for them. And I think they realize that, right, in what we're seeing. Right? 'Cause it's just not cohesive enough. And it expands everything in the game exponentially. Mutated Mass. Nice looking card-ish. Not as good as the Illusionist cards. Still pretty nonetheless. And yeah, just the overall, time span of revisiting X and supporting X is just a nightmare. Again, right, I know people don't want a ton of sets dropping, but if they had other streams of revenue, then they could push, more sets. And the sets could be again, not something you have to participate in because there is no rotation. And again, we need a lot more cards coming out for the number of things in play, for the things that need to be expanded upon. Soul Reaping. I think this is a decent one, even though it's only rare as well. I definitely like it in Cheyenne, right? Because it's just one card for 6. And is there ways to get the Blood Debt off? What is it? You may banish 1 or more cards from your hand rather than blah, blah, blah. If you do, gain for each card with Blood Debt. I don't think there are any other Specialization Blood Debt cards. There might be some from Levia. But either way, still 1 for 6 is okay. Tome of Torment for our Majestic. But yeah, I think that we should get a ton more products. Again, if they're not going to expand classes or talents, then it's fine. But at the rate we're going, we need more products. That's my personal opinion. Howl from the Beyond. And lucky last 3 packs. Okay. Oh. We get Herald of Ravagers. And nada. Second last. We get Fable. We get a nice, gorgeous library. Nope. I don't see anything shining through. Probably the rear guard. Plus, oh, sorry, doesn't it replace the... Does it replace the foil? I can't remember at this point. Another Phantasmaclasm. God, that's a tongue twister to say, especially quickly. And then another Soul Reaping. Oh, that goes there. Soul Reaping goes there because it's just a rare. Okay, lucky last pack. What do we get? Besides some plastic. Our foil is just a common. Any M? Nah. Nothing to end it off. Oh well. Not horrible. Well, it's kind of horrible. In the perspective of value. But there are definitely some cards of interest here for me. Okay. So, nothing super great except for the weird crypt Radon. It's equipment too, so you could play it, right? And it would obviously reflect off of, well, within a sleeve. Is there a new weapon? I can't remember if there's a new weapon for Bolton. Bolton is also a hero that desperately needs more support, and again, got a little, and is getting a little here and there. But yeah, overall, could use a ton more. Majestic Foils. Mutated Mass is our first one. And then it was 2 Illusionists, Phantasmaclasm, which is beautiful. And nope, that's it. So we only got 2. Yeah. What do you think? Cool or just meh? Again, it's an uncommon misprint, but again, it's an accident that you could theoretically just do at home, because all that's happened is the card was caught when the pack was sealed. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. See ya.